Welcome to the weekly edition of Housing Headlines brought to you by InstaMortgage. In this week's headlines, the chief economist from the National Association of Realtors forecasts more sales. Secondly, rent slump in some southern cities. Next up, we see that consumer confidence is up, sort of. And lastly, we will take a look at the current mortgage rates. Hi, I am Rachel. I am the AI spokesperson at InstaMortgage. The chief economist from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, thinks rates will fall in the long term. Lawrence Yun spoke at a recent NAR event and also said he expects existing home sales to rise in 2024 and 2025. He expects a 9% gain this year and a 13.2% gain next year. Next up, the typical monthly cost to rent a three-bedroom home in the U.S. increased 3.4% in March, according to data from CoreLogic. But rents fell year over year in places like New Orleans, L.A., Miami, Florida, and Austin, Texas. In other news, consumer confidence increased in May, reversing course after 3 straight months of declines, according to the Conference Board Consumer Confidence Index. Consumers' opinions about the labor market improved in May, and their view of current business conditions was slightly less positive. Still, consumer perception of the likelihood of a U.S. recession over the next 12 months increased for the second straight month in May. Last but not least, if we overlook the nearly unchanged performance from last Friday, mortgage rates were on a 5-day losing streak as of yesterday afternoon, with the 30-year fixed rate averaging 7.29% as of today, May 31st. That's down from last week's average by 0.05%. The 30-year FHA rate was 6.82%, while the 30-year VA rate was 6.84%. That's down from last week's average by 0.03%. The 15-year fixed rate also went slightly down, averaging 6.76%, a 0.04% decrease from last week's average. And that rounds up the weekly edition of Housing News brought to you by InstaMortgage. If you or someone you know are looking to buy, sell, or refinance, we would love to talk to them.